Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. I am Anu.
And I'm Pablo.
And today we're going to be continuing our discussion about health in general.
And specifically, swelling.
Bienvenidos a nuestro canal. Yo soy Pablo.
Anu.
And we are Familia Pablanu.
So first, I never really noticed the swelling that I had growing up, and as I was older and whatnot, I just noticed I had like pain. I always had knee pain my entire life, pretty much. I would have issues with my knees and things would happen. But you don't really feel this because you've lived with it for your whole life, unless there's an actual sharp pain or something.
Right.
And for you, it was a lot more than that.
It
right?
was, I mean, growing up, I've always, that was a bug. Oh, sorry guys. Growing up, could you get that thing away? So growing up, I've always had knee pains, and I just thought, I mean, maybe I've fallen down maybe too many times, and then you just live with it, you know. But it got worse as I grew older, and then when we got married and I was pregnant with our first, that's when it became worse. And I mean, I could barely walk because I was really, really swollen, and then that effect on my joints, all of my joints actually, but specifically on my knees and my toes, they start hurting. I can't even walk without all that pain.
And pregnancy, the thing about pregnancy is, I mean, you're having all these added things going on, and so it exacerbates whatever you have. So a lot of times when people talk about, oh, pregnancy is terrible, well, no, it's because you had underlying conditions that you just didn't notice until they were exacerbated.
Yeah,
you know?
but the stress of a pregnancy, it just makes all those hidden symptoms come out in full force.
It was good for us because it actually showed us, oh crap, this is something that we had issues with, and we didn't realize because we lived with it our whole lives.
Yeah. So it was really, really awakening moment for me. But then it was so bad that we went to the doctors, and we're like, okay, I can barely function. What can we do about this knee? And they're like, okay, we can give you a steroid shot, and they did. But it got worse.
It didn't. Long needle that goes like all the way into your knee.
Into the knee joint. That was really, really awful.
Did it make it worse?
Yes, it didn't. Geez. It didn't help. But no one ever told me, maybe it is the food. Maybe you could change things around. No one told me. They just said, we can give you some drugs to, counteract the symptoms. Because
doctors don't believe in you. They don't believe in you. They don't believe that you actually will change what you eat.
Right.
So like, let's just give them drugs
and get it over with,
Let's inject them.
Right, so...
Let's do surgery.
So what happens after that? I mean, I was pregnant, and it was worse. It got worse and worse. And then I had through the pregnancies, but specifically I'm talking about Elena's pregnancy, the first one. Towards the end there, I was really, really swollen. I was almost about 40 pounds. It was really, really
when you
swollen.
put compression socks on and stuff, and then you took them off, they were just like deep marks, and if I were like massaging your feet, my thumbs would like go into your it was like a big balloon. It's crazy.
It was really awful. Anyways.
But I mean to be honest, I had that too, not to that extent because I wasn't pregnant, but I had that for a long time, and it was getting worse as we got older and whatnot. And I would wake up in the morning and I could feel my feet like swollen. It was like almost like all the little bones in there were like slightly separated from the swelling, and then when I stood on them, it was like squishing them back together, and it hurt like every morning. It was crazy. Not to mention our faces all swollen.
I remember, it was always swollen when we wake up in the morning. It was always swollen. But
and
anyways,
bags in our eyes, all that kind of stuff. Which we don't have anymore. No bags in our eyes.
So if we can, let's fast forward to the fourth pregnancy. That was the first, and the second, and the third. We had to live with that. So when we started thinking, okay, maybe it doesn't have to be like this. Maybe is there something I can do to make this better? We were researching. We're doing all this online search about it's the food we're eating. So it was a process, definitely. So first things to go was the
trial and error, really. I mean,
So we looked into was it dairy that goes first? Yeah, it was dairy first.
Dairy, animal fats, things like that. Just realizing that all of those things contributed to it.
We were realizing that Tulio, our first son, was having breast buds. when he wasn't supposed to have it. They said it was the mama's hormones that's making him have that. Same with Elena. It was actually, wasn't she producing? She was producing her own milk at like 2 days old.
That's all the hormones and stuff.
So when it comes to the swelling, so what did we take off? We started thinking, what is in our food that's causing the swelling?
I know sugar would hurt you. Like if you had any sort of processed sugar, or even like really, really sweet fruits, even today.
Yeah,
you take a really sweet fruit, like a dried date.
Dried dates, yeah, it would definitely, because in nature, if it's in its natural form, you can't really overeat it. But if it's processed, dehydrated, and in that kind of form, condensed, you add the condensed sugar, you can actually overeat, and you're very swollen, or you're feeling all that pain in your joints. So I started seeing all these things, and we saw that the sugar does that in any form. Sugar is sugar, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's honey or maple syrup,
or fructose,
if it's dried fruits, it's also sugar.
Or cooked fruits like sweet plantains.
If you boiled it, roasted plantain, that would do it too. Anyways, if it's already changed from its natural form to higher percentage of sugar, it will
It hurts you.
It will hurt. It hurts your joints. Anyways,
and it hurts me too. I've been starting to notice it as well. Yeah.
So what else did we note? And we realized that salt is a big factor.
That was a recent one.
Yeah.
We still would put salt, and then we're like, let's limit our salt.
Actually, we did MSG. We put MSG in there. We took the salt out. We're like, oh, salt is bad, so we took it out and we replaced it with MSG. But I'm like,
which is still sodium, but it's like it's not as much sodium in the compound that it is.
It says 60% less sodium, but then I'm realizing I'm still having the same symptoms as if it were regular salt. So we're like, okay, maybe we should take that off. We took that off, and we're seeing, oh my gosh, okay, the swelling is gone. And then we took oil. Oil was also a factor too. We took oil off because oil also just gave us the same symptom as when you eat butter. No matter what kind of oil it is. It could be avocado, refined, whatever. Give it whatever name you want to give it. It's still the same. It's still oil is oil.
You could use the best oil.
Yeah.
Right? Like avocado oil, in my opinion, is the best oil, but it's still
oil because it's been
condensed.
Processed from its natural form. It's been taken, all the fibers taken away, and all the nutrients taken away. So what you're left with,
it's not bound to things that can be received, like that are bioavailable, easily bioavailable.
And also things, bound to the things that will actually bind to that oil, and the excess one that'll make it excrete out oil.
Oils in its natural form are perfectly made in nature for us to be able to digest, and if we don't use them, we get rid of them, right? They don't stay on us versus any sort of processed oil, right, that are removed from its natural form, its natural package, you could say. Suddenly, it's in a form that's not can actually stick to you, right? And then you start growing those layers of fat.
Yeah. So we took the oil out. And we were seeing the results. I mean, even our children, we saw the result on them. They were usually, when we were eating all that salt and oil, they wake up, their face was really, really swollen. I mean, sometimes when we probably go to the restaurant and they have a lot of salt and oil in their food, the next day you just wake up and we see all of our faces swollen crazy. Anyways, so
and the kids, that's the only time I ever see the kids with bags under their eyes. Is if we went to a restaurant the night before and they had lots of salt and stuff. Then they come in the morning, they got these big old obvious bags.
Right.
I think we even took a photo of it.
We used to have bags under our eyes too. We used to.
Like everyone, right?
Right. Like everyone. And we thought, you just put some cream on it.
Creams will totally make those things go away, right? No.
For the first time in our lives, they're gone. You don't need to put creams on it. It's just a food that you eat.
Even if we're not sleeping well, which we try to sleep well. That's important, by the way. Yeah. So I know we're talking about like we took this out, right? We took sugar out. We took salt out. We took out all this stuff. Just so you know, it was not an easy decision.
It wasn't.
Because it's frightening because it's something you're used to your entire life, and you're like, okay, even if I hear the logic that in nature these things exist and they exist in a good form, like a form that you can actually eat and not get sick on, right? You can eat as much as, well, in some cases, as much as you want if it's natural, right? If it has natural waters, natural oils, natural salts and things in it. But the question was, okay, what about in your cooking? How do you make your cooking taste good? How do you do this? So that's why it took us a long time to slowly limit. And like for sugars, it was okay. And for everything, it's finding alternatives. It's like, okay, where do you find sugars in nature? Fruits, fruits, vegetables even. You know, there's a lot of these things. I mean, think about onions even, right? Even not the sweet onions, not the vidalias, right? But just normal onions. You fry them up or cook them up in some way and they come so sweet to you.
Really
and another thing is when you start limiting those extra sugars, you start tasting sugars in their natural environment. Like you start tasting them normally how they're supposed to be, right? You eat an onion and you're like, oh, this is so sweet, it's so tasty. You eat a carrot and you're just like, gosh, this is sweet. This is killing me, you know, especially if it's organic.
Organic varieties, yes, they're very
high in all the nutrients.
Oh, the nutrients, They're
not wimpy little things. Yeah. They got all these fertilizer and pesticides on them.
Right.
So anyways, so that's with the sugars.
For the sugar,
with the salts.
For the salt, we look in nature as well, and we're looking into what are these vegetables that actually have natural salt. So we used to eat Swiss chard. I'm like, it does taste a little like it has sodium in it, and then it turns out, yes, it does have good amount of sodium that you need. It bound.
Beets especially.
Beets as well.
Greens off of beets, and it's like. Really salty.
So and then celery, for example, and also a lot of greens and a lot of vegetables like that. They all have sodium in them. You don't have to have the processed sea salt or whatever salt that is in a processed form. Why not get it from the plants that absorb the minerals themselves and just eat those vegetables from the nature and put it in your soup and you have really tasty food.
Well, I mean, one of the things that scared me is, as an American, you know, that's where we get our iodine from.
Right, but iodine.
Kind of going back to the video we did on supplements. You know, iodine. The only reason we need supplements is because we're lacking it in our diet. Right. And where is it in our diet?
It's in the food that we eat. It's in the food that we eat. Because I was really scared about iodine
like
too.
What? What are some examples?
So think of anything that has the minerals that is gathered from the ground up. It's got the iodine. It's got the calcium. It's got the. I mean, they have different amounts that they have, but they all have it. Think of your all the greens, the kale and the cabbage and the celery. Think of all the greens. The ones
it just takes it out of the soil and packages it for us to eat.
All the things rich in the Swiss chard, the collard greens, all of the greens. All of the grains and the vegetables, carrots, for example, rich in iodine. What else? I mean,
exactly. And the funny thing about sodium, so one of the things that I looked up, just because now I'm curious about everything, now that we're learning these things, is okay, why is the sea salty, right? And it comes because of runoff from the earth, right? Any place where there's land, constant runoff. Concentrates all of this sodium in the water, and that's why it's salty. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So you're telling me there's lots of sodium in the soil. So then any plants that grow, you know, we'll pull the sodium out and we'll have it in the plant. You know, but at differing amounts, like you said. Right, but
no one told us this. That they just take that sea salt from the already processed sea salt.
Because it's got minerals in it.
Yeah, the thing that is gonna swell you up and just gonna give you hypertension. Anyways, so we're talking about swelling. So when we took all of the salt out, we took the oil out, we took all the processed, everything processed, sugar, we took them out. Now, what did and when we supplemented with the other natural stuff found in the earth, and what result did we see? For example, all the joint pains all of a sudden disappeared. No more swelling in the knees, no more puffy face, bag on the eyes, rheumatism. Everything was gone. And when it comes...
That's true. My wrists would hurt like every night. I had to wear braces when I slept because I was told, you know, by the doctor, oh, it's because you're doing this all the time when you sleep. So I had it like that, and it sort of helped, right? But then it's like, wait, why was I hurting in the first place?
Right, and
my
also
wrist should be able to move in any direction.
Right, your back used to hurt really bad. the back, and you know,
especially being tall, you know.
Yeah, and you say, oh, it's because I slept funny, and this is hard. I'm like, it shouldn't be. Well,
right.
now that we know,
you should wake up and feel refreshed.
Right. You shouldn't feel any pain.
You should never feel bad when you wake up, unless you were like doing something, imbibing or eating something that was not good for you the night before.
So we saw that even in the kids too, and then also of course added benefit is that all the kids and we all heal really fast. I mean, they hurt themselves, and you look within an hour. You look back at that bruise, and you think it's been a few days that they hurt themselves. Oh, no, it was just 1 hour ago. It's mind blowing how fast we heal.
Yeah, how quickly like bleeding stops. And
stuff. Because the greens have a lot of vitamin K, so we clot super really fast. I mean,
you get all these things.
Yeah, all the benefits
in the same plants.
It's amazing.
Everything's in there.
And you don't have you don't have to go take one supplement so you can go excrete the food, so you can empty your bowel, for example. Another supplement so you can have vitamin K. Another supplement so you can have this and that. It's all in one.
Exactly.
Nature produced, nature grown plant-based food. It's amazing. Anyways, so that's what we learned about when it comes to salt. And in pregnancy, definitely, the fourth pregnancy is the best ever in the sense that when it comes to swelling, for the first time I wasn't swollen. I mean, if you didn't see my belly, you wouldn't even know that I was pregnant. My
face looked normal everywhere else.
Yeah, my face was so thin and nice. You know, there was no puffy nose and mouth. You know, it's amazing to see. And next is gonna be talking about weight gain in pregnancy. I'll talk about hypertension and weight gain and that in the next one. But so it's mind blowing what we've
and you know, one question that I know a lot of people will ask, and something that I asked all the time was, how in the heck am I going to be able to fry stuff? You know, how can I fry things? And granted, you know, we're only frying. We don't have cheeses. We don't have things that stick. We don't have oils that stick to things and all that. So our pans are super clean nowadays. You just put some water on it and voila, it's gone.
So is our inside too.
Right. Our insides are clean
you can
too.
see how your inside is through is it the dishwasher or the food that you're washing. If you're trying to wash dishes and you're using the most hardest detergent and it's still not coming off. You know,
think about your insides.
Yeah, think about your insides.
Your poor villi that are all stopped up.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, what I was going to say is we just use water.
Right, yep.
So when you're frying up stuff, I mean, and what it does is it actually makes the flavors that much stronger.
Yeah.
So like, for example, if we fry up mushrooms and stuff, there's a certain point where, let's say we throw in some onions, we throw in some mushrooms, and we do this regularly. And when it reaches a certain heat point, I guess, suddenly the mushrooms lose water. Just boom.
Yep.
And as soon as that happens, you basically turn off the heat and you let it. I forgot the chef's term for it, but it's basically they usually use vinegar or red wine to do this, but its own natural waters can do this, and it basically it takes all the kind of burned-ish stuff from the bottom of the pot, and it cleans it up and mixes it into a flavorful juice, a flavorful gravy, right? And it's so flavorful.
And it tastes so flavorful. It's amazing. Oh my gosh.
And if anything's sticking, you just pour a little bit of water and voila. That's stir frying with water.
You never need to saute. Yeah, you never need to saute anything or your food with oil ever.
Everything's clean. So clean and tasty.
Yeah. Anyways, we're done for this segment. Hope you guys enjoy.
I hope you learned something, but this took us several years to try to practice and develop and try out different things.
Right,
so we're happy to share these things with you, and hopefully they'll work for you as well.
Yeah, so if our video piqued your interest, please share, like, and subscribe to our channel, Familia Pablanu. I will come back again with some more health videos and stuff. But until next time, well, you guys have a good day. Bye.